What's going on, guys? Scar coming at you with another Magic the Gathering video. In today's video we dive into a Boros Warriors equipment deck that I did in another video. I figured I'd show you some gameplay of it. It's actually a fairly interesting deck from what I've played, but first and foremost, if you're new here, guys, I appreciate you guys all coming by and watching the videos. Thank you also the people who come and watch almost every one of my videos. I do appreciate that very much. If you like the video, guys, hit that like button. It definitely helps out the channel out a lot. If you want to know I post more videos, hit that subscribe button. But let's dive right into the deck. Alright, so here is the Boros Warriors deck. You may have seen my video where I talked about various off meta style decks that I pulled from magic.gg, which is a website that I guess Magic actually runs officially, where they take these decks and they post the list onto their website for decks that win 6 games in a row. So these decks are decks that are winning, like they go on winning streaks for 6 games in a row. It is for best of 3, so that is the only difference. So some of these decks are tuned for best of 3. But overall, the decks are fairly good because these are people playing in Platinum and Mythic rank, and they take these decks and they just post the list, and pretty much there's not much going on with that. So I mean, overall the deck is pretty interesting. I did do a couple test games with it. It plays fairly well when it does want to work, and there's sometimes it gets a little awkward just because the land base is a little bit of an awkward sense, as you can kind of see here just by looking at this. There's only 12 lands in the deck, 8 of them being basics and 4 of them being the pathways, and then the rest of the lands in the deck are actually modal lands. So it's interesting in that sense compared to like other decks where you usually have like 20 or so like lands in general, and then you have maybe some modal lands mixed in. This one goes heavily into overall playing, you know, more modal cards, and then if I need the land, you play the card as the land itself instead of the card itself, depending on the situation. But overall the deck, like I said, does play fairly well. In a couple games I felt like I drew a lot of the equipments but didn't draw a lot of the creature base, and then vice versa. But I mean, overall it's one of those things, I guess, when you try to run equipment slash, you know, equipment slash creature style deck. I mean, when it works, which is pretty interesting. I mean, once you start getting these artifact equipments out, it does actually put your opponent in awkward situations. And actually playing something like Nahiri is actually fairly good, just on the basis of her being able to create 1/1s and just automatically attaching equipments to them makes it pretty good. And then combine that with the Kargan War Leader, it's also pretty good because majority of our creatures in our deck are warriors. I mean, sure, if we play Miria's Call, we're going to get angel tokens, but that's besides the fact. And then playing things like Legion Angel, like the 1 copy of, and then eventually get more copies of this from our sideboard's very good. The Mollusk Skyclave is actually fairly strong just by giving a creature +2/+2 flying and first strike. Definitely creates some interesting things. Definitely when you start having, like, you know, your little 1/1s start being these 3/3 flyers that your opponent now has to deal with. Shadow Spear is pretty interesting because it removes the hexproof. And then I mean, also if you really need to, you can always use Nahiri's second ability and or third ability. The second ability, I guess, you get to look at the top 6 cards of a library, reveal a warrior or equipment card, add it to your hand, and put the rest on the bottom. Or -3, you can deal damage equal to the number of equipment, twice the number of equipment cards you control. So if you have 3 equipments out, you're going to deal 6 damage to whatever you want to, which is definitely cool as well. Definitely can get rid of that pesky planeswalker and or creature that could be in your way. Elspeth Conqueror's Death's pretty interesting because if you want to sacrifice in here, you can always get it back with a Conqueror's Death. But overall, I mean, what the deck is trying to do is pretty straightforward. We're just trying to play a bunch of warrior creatures, put equipments on them, and swing at our opponent's face. Let's play some games, kind of see how we do, and then we'll talk about it at the end. Our opponent's on the play. Our hand is okay. It's not great. We only have 2 lands, but I mean, we can play what we have in our hand, which is pretty good. So I think I'm keeping because we're on the draw. So if we can get a good, if we get their land, this could be a very good hand, which is interesting. Our opponent's on the big think right now. Oh, they had a mulligan. All right, looks like possibly like mono red, which is interesting. We'll play that into play tapped. Put the Intimidator out, which is going to be something that our opponent's gonna. Okay. Sorry, they're being aggressive. They're attacking him for 4 at least. If they have like a Fervent Champion here, that's gonna be very interesting. They must have like more lands, because I feel like that gets very awkward. I actually may put the Hollow Blade out here because I can always discard something to give it indestructible. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I can't really do anything with the warrior. So this definitely can sit in front of the Hellbound, the Hellhound, so they really can't attack into it unless they somehow can give it trample. Though they can target it with something. I think it taps, right? Or just gains indestructible. Never mind. I'm thinking of something else. That's the. Okay. I'm gonna still block. What's very awkward right now in my hand? We get rid of the Haktos. Num 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 num. When it enters battlefield, exile top card of the library, play the card as long as it remains exiled. Okay. Playing a landfall rule deck, which is interesting. Didn't draw. We drew a land, but it's a tap land, so we'll play that. Unfortunately, it'd be better if we played. Be better if we played actually like you know, an untapped land. That's fine. Western Beast, nice. All right, interesting. Deals equal to the number of creatures you control. We'll give it to this. They're taking all of it. Okay. Okay. So they got to kill the creature in the air. Nahiri comes out next turn, which is very good. Okay. They're gonna crack it to get another card, possibly. This is a fairly interesting card for what they're trying to do here. So it's like they can play the Bone Crusher and try to kill this Season Hollow Blade, which I think in that point I would get rid of the Kiri. I mean, that's actually pretty good. The Warrior thing is pretty strong too. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So they're gonna get another card. I wonder if they should have put the damage here, because if they would draw another burn spell, they could have done something. I feel like they could have done that slightly differently. They're gonna attack. They are gonna attack. They're being aggressive. Target creature becomes a coward until end of turn. You're a coward. I constantly could have killed them. I just realized, couldn't I? Well, they're at 5 lands. They could possibly kill me if they draw a burn spell to get rid of the Akiri, because they have 7 on the board. They're short a land here, but it doesn't look like they have one because they would have dropped it. Unless they're counting. They're counting. Need one more. It's 6 mana, right? Yeah. You're 1 short on the mana, my dude. I mean, if they have an Embercleave, though, Embercleave would be very good here. I think Embercleave actually wins in the game. Okay. Comes in to play tap, though. Robber. at this point, it's like one of those things where they gotta like figure out if they want to, what they want to do here. All right, you got another Rada. Got a robber. I mean, I guess I'll go here, right? Because that's the most damage. So if they have the Ember Cleave, I think I'm still alive by like 2. Because that would be 4, 4, 8, 10. I'd be dead. I'd be alive by 1 if they decide to do that. I mean, I think that's what they're thinking about playing because they're highlighting each one of their creatures, so they're probably trying to figure out what they want to do. All right, and then they only do 5, so I'm at 2. Okay. Got it. And then we just gotta go. We're on the play. I actually don't mind my hand because we have a ton of land actually and a ton of utility. So I actually may put down this tapped. Tapped. It's just a very intimidating, like I'm gonna put down this tap land. All right, they're playing tap lands, got it. Yeah, let's play that. Play Hollow Blade. Say go. Next turn's awkward. Just on the basis of don't really have a untap land. It's indestructible. What are they playing? Interesting. Interesting. Kind of interesting way to play a pathway. I mean, I can get rid of one of these if they decide to do damage to it. They're not having a good time right now because I'm just preventing the damage. Oh god. Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, that's fine. Outlaw's Merriment. They're probably gonna play the Bone Crusher. Called it. What are we gonna get? I'll do 1 damage to your face. Oh. Are they gonna block it is the question. Do I want to do anything? Yeah, we'll get rid of it. And turn. That's fine. Dash Foin. They're playing a very interesting, like, big red style deck, it looks like. I don't know. It's interesting what they're trying to do here. They also have mana open. That's fine. Because now we're just gonna attack them. And then we're gonna do this. and then put it on there and hit him for 6, and you're gonna gain a life. So they don't have any instant removal. Still fine. Yeah. Yep. We're on the play. My hand's not bad. I guess we'll put the white card out. Yeah, we'll put one of these into play tapped. So go. What is our opponent playing is the question. Something green. Adventures? Interesting. I could have played a Spikefield Hazard there, but let's see what they got. Scoos, good old Scoos. That's what I thought. As I'm like trying to intimidate them. Second white. I'll play another red here. We'll Spikefield here. Just get rid of that. We don't need that. I mean, it hits pretty good. I could use some equipments though, but we're doing things. That's fine. Gonna swing in for 2. Because there's nothing in the graveyard for you to eat. That's gonna get you bonuses. Okay. Fine. Hit me for 4. Awesome. I have nothing for you to eat, dude. You can eat my graveyard though. We'll do this and we're just gonna gain the life. We'll play the pathway, we'll play it with white, and we'll say go. Fine. It's only creatures that help you out. Thing is, he's not doing enough to really pressure me damage-wise. I mean, if he has an Embercleave, maybe. Okay. I see what you're putting down, dude. I want to give him a target. It's fine. I can put this out and then see what he wants to do about it. If he wants to do damage to the Intimidator, that's fine. I can protect it now. I have mana open. The question is, what is he gonna do? That is the question. I mean, you can step back, I guess, is the best thing you could do here. I mean, I'll take it. That's fine. I mean, I'm at a high enough life total that I don't mind taking 10 damage. Because I'm going to gain damage. I'm going to gain it back. That's 4-8. Yeah, something. Oh, he probably has the ability to Probably has the ability to whatchamacallit then, doesn't he? We go up to 16. I could pay 3 life, and then I could do nothing. I think we just put this into play tapped and say go. He's at 1, so he can't be super aggressive here. He could attack and put me down to 6. I mean, if he has whatchamacallit, Primal Fear, Primal Might, that could be a play. Protection from red. Unless you got another burn spell. It's got protection from red. So that just dissolves. I wonder what he's got here. Because now thinking about it, he left only 1 blocker, so he must have to have something else. Because I could just make the Scavenging Ooze on block, like, not block, because it becomes a coward because of this. I mean, he can move the Scavenging Ooze, but it still doesn't help. He's also got, I don't know. Is he gonna eat his creature and gain a life? Yeah. And we are back. So I mean, overall the deck performed fairly well. I know this is a little bit of a shorter video, but I feel like when you play like aggro style decks that have a pretty simple concept of what it's trying to do, I don't think you really need to play super deep into the games, because I mean eventually it just becomes repetitive. But I mean, overall we played a decent variety of players. I mean, I don't think any of them were really playing anything super meta wise. I mean, I saw a couple Gruul decks, so I mean, I guess maybe Gruul's kind of meta, but I really didn't see like anything that I would have assumed to be in a Gruul style meta deck. But I mean, what this deck's trying to do, wow, I said the word deck a lot, is pretty straightforward. I mean, when we have the creatures out and we can be very aggressive very early against our opponent, especially, you know, you get a Season Hellblade out, our opponent really has nothing to do with it, and we can just start throwing cards into the bin just to protect it and block into things. Is pretty interesting. We didn't really get to use Nahiri at all, really. I mean, Outlaw's Merriment in the 1 game definitely helped us out when our opponent decided to play like a bigger red, I guess, style deck. The Kiri is pretty interesting here too, just because of the draw effect. Did not really get to see the Maw of the Skyclaves. But like I said, I mean, the deck is fairly interesting. I mean, I would suggest maybe making tweaks if you don't feel comfortable with playing like essentially 12 lands, and then just playing a whole bunch of mortal lands. But I don't think it really bothers, doesn't really mess up too much. It just, you know, some of the lands come into play taps, so that's the one downfall. So I mean, if you want to be more aggressive, maybe you want to put more lands into play that can become untapped. But I can understand why they want the mortal land route, because depending on the matchup, you could figure out what cards you want to keep and what cards you want to just make a land onto the battlefield. So that's why, like, I guess the mortal lands work out in that sense. But overall, guys, let me know what you guys think about the deck. If this is something you're interested in playing, let me know down in the comments below. If you want to know when I post more videos, hit that subscribe button. We are getting close to 1,000 subscribers, so I mean, I do appreciate every single one of you guys who do come out and check out my videos, and anyone who's new to the channel. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I do appreciate all you guys. And until next time, I'll see you later.